Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am showing you a new Challenger Crafty Friend card, which was this time old card, new style, which means that I had to take one of my older cards that I created and try something different with it, but still I tried to keep it some sort of similar, so maybe you recognized which card I am remaking. But first of all, I've die cut this puffy cloud backdrop portrait out of Neenah, and I am going to do some ink blending. As you know me, I prefer keeping my edges white, so that's why I use my purple tape. And now I am going to do some rainbow ink blending on top of this panel. Therefore, I'm using some cheap makeup brushes to help me, as well as a paper, as you can see here, to just make sure that my colors are on each cloud edge different and they are not crossing that border. So I'm just using my favorite rainbow colors from my distress inks, and later on I will also be painting with my distress inks, as I did already a few times before. So aside from this puffy cloud backdrop portrait and my Frosty fairy friends, I actually just used a stencil and a lot of distress inks. So I'm also keeping these colors at the side because I am going to use these colors as well while playing with my stencil. So I'm almost at my final cloudy edge, and I didn't take enough colors in the beginning, but I just took some picked raspberry as well to finish that final cloudy border. So as I said before, this is a Challenger Crafty Friends, so down below in the description box you will find the supply list, but also a link towards Julia's YouTube channel where she is showing her latest card that she created for this challenge, and I'm also linking towards her Instagram just for those who aren't following her yet. She makes adorable cards, so I really recommend following her to get some more inspiration. So here I've taken the Starry Sky stencil, which is truly adorable. I haven't used it yet, so this was the first time, and I am so happy that I bought this one. I'm not really a person who uses a lot of stencils, but each time they come out with a new one, I'm just blown away by the possibilities. And still then I have some troubles with using them actually on my cards. But I'm really glad that I did for this one. It also changes the layout of my card, which makes it a bit more new towards my previous one, which I will show at the end. Then I will lay the two cards next to each other so you can see what was the old style and what it has become. And I'm really curious about which one you like most, so definitely let me know that down below in the comments. So now this stencil, I just kept it on there, and I'm going to take my Glimmer Paste Moonstone from Nuvo, and I am going to add this on top of the stencil. So it's recommended that when you're adding your paste that you don't go over it too much, because you can also drag some of the distress inks along with swiping over your card, so that's tricky, but I really always try to have an even layer of this glitter paste, and that's why I'm going over it so much. But while I was doing it, I was saying to myself, Lynn, you've got to stop now. So eventually I stopped, and then it's really important to rinse your stencil really well after you used any sort of paste, because when this dries it's really hard to get it off your stencil. So I am not filming the part where I'm rinsing it, but I'm doing it right away so that nothing will be stuck on there from my paste. And then I can lay this panel aside. My background is done, and I just have to color in my images, which of course takes the longest time ever, since I am doing some no line coloring with my distress inks. And I am using a lot of inks for this card because I want to keep that rainbow going, which means a lot of color was needed. So yeah, the supply list is really long when you check the distress inks. But for the rest, there is minimal supply, so if you have any watery ink or just you want to use your Copics, you can really limit yourself with the amount of inks or markers or whatever you want to use. So I'm stamping my images with antique linen. There are also no line coloring inks, which I also use, but I have noticed that I prefer using my antique linen when I'm doing some no line coloring with distress inks themselves. So I'm just smooshing the inks on the side, and then I'm taking my paintbrush, and as I did before, I add my ink really concentrated on the edge of the image, and then I take a damp paintbrush and I just drag that color more towards the middle of that image. So that's how I do my watercoloring. I am also not really bothered by creating shadows from one light source. You can definitely do that, but sometimes I just think about the cuteness and I'm just going with it without any preparations, and just doing what feels right, and that works as well. So you can go really detailed and think about where your light source is, or you just go the way it feels right and then you can get this. So yeah, I am just coloring everything in the same way. I just want to mention that one of my fairies, the one that will have the orange dress, didn't work out the way I wanted it to. It's only at the end of my coloring that you will see that, but I'm going to put a bit of music on, so I already want to explain it. I don't really add black eyes or mouth when I am doing no line coloring. Why? Because sometimes it can be really harsh. Not always, of course. There are some occasions where I use my stamping tool and just stamp it out again. But in this occasion, I wanted to use one of my brown distress inks. And actually the face appeared to be too wet still, so it bled all the way. The face was just really really bad, and I just kept going, and you will see that until the end of the video that one fairy the face is really dark and grayish and filthy like. So I didn't know where to go with that, and actually I came back to that one image like yesterday, but this card I made like I think 3 weeks or a month ago. Yeah, a long time ago, and I just wasn't sure because of that one fairy, and for some people you probably won't be bothered. But when I just keep going, even when I think that things aren't as I wanted to, sometimes I get the situation that everything is finished, and I even took pictures. I have already edited everything, but just in this case I didn't want to finish my video because I didn't want to record anything. I wasn't happy with it and I just couldn't let it loose. So 3 weeks after I finished this card and edited everything, I came back to that one fairy and I remade it. I use exactly the same distress inks and such, but if you compare the end of the video with the pictures that I'm showing, you will definitely see that the skin tone is much lighter on the one on the pictures, and I prefer it this way. I am just, yeah, I'm happy that I remade it. Also a bit annoyed by myself that I kept it for so long without doing anything with it. But because I remade it, I am showing you this video, so I am really glad I did. So for the rest of the video, or the coloring of this video, I will put on some music and I will be back afterwards. If you have any questions about the coloring, leave them down below in the comments and I will respond to it as soon as possible, I promise. But for now, some music will be good. With everything colored in, I can use the matching dies to die cut these elements, and then I can just place this on top of my card panel, and this went quite quickly because of course I am remaking a card, so yeah. I am going to adhere these critters, critters is not the right word, I'm going to adhere these fairies and the house using some thin foam squares from scrapbook adhesives. I told this before, but I'm saying it again, these are marvelous. Just the way you can peel off the backing, the height is perfect. Yeah, truly my favorite. So I'm adding everything with some foam squares, and then I can adhere this panel on top of a card base. And because I have already that glitter from the stencil, I'm not going to add anything more. So yeah, that's my card. In a few seconds I will also be showing my previous card. So as I said before, if you have a preference, please let me know down below. Questions also in the comments, and then I will get back to you on that one. If you like this card, please give it a thumbs up. I would truly appreciate it. It also gives me a clear idea of what you like, what you don't like seeing. Yeah, so that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please check out Julia's card as well. It is in the links down below in the description box, and I hope to see you next time again. Bye!